Hi, this is Pixeltests, and welcome to another Excel lesson. In today's lesson, we're going to be covering actual versus target charts. Actual versus target charts are charts you make when you want to compare a goal set for the future and the actual amount achieved by you. There are two types of actual versus target charts, one where there's a fixed target and one where the target is not fixed, or a variable actual versus target chart. In this sheet, for example, the sales target for all the salesmen in the company is the same. But in a variable to actual versus target chart, the target is different for each salesman. It can be 7,000 for the first one, 3,000 for the second one, and so on. Let's begin with the fixed actual versus target chart. So in this chart, we have three columns. The first is our salesman. So we have these 7 salesmen. The second column is the actual sales made by these salesmen. So Pranav has made 5,500, Neha has made 6,300, and so on. And this third column is the target set for the salesman, which is 5,500. As you can see, it is fixed for all the salesmen in the company at 5,500. So some people have met the target, like Neha, for example, has exceeded the target at 6,300, where the target is 5,500. And some people have gone below the target, like Daksh, who has made 4,000 sales and the target was 5,500. So coming to the chart, we have a column chart for our actual sales and a line passing through which shows where our target value lies on the chart and how all these other columns are comparing to this target value. So if the column is below the line, like for Ria and Daksh, they have not met this target value. And if it's above the line, then they have exceeded or crossed the target value and should be eligible for some kind of reward by the company, like a bonus. So let's begin with how to make this chart. Let's select our entire dataset by clicking on the first cell and holding Control A. Then we'll go to Insert. And for now, let's just make a standard column chart. So as you can see here, we have our actual sales and our target sales in two columns next to each other. But how are we going to make it so that the target sales actually shows up as a line? Well, to do that, what we'll do is we'll convert our target sales into a line chart and keep the actual sales as a column chart. So for that, we'll click on this, go to chart design and change the chart type, and we'll change this to a combo chart. We already have a lesson on combo charts on the channel, so make sure you check it out after this video. So let's go to combo. And now as you can see, Excel has already suggested that we make our target sales as a line. Let's just hit OK. And now our target sales is showing up as a line on the chart. There's one problem with this chart though, and that is that the target line is only covering half of this first column and half of this last column, whereas I wanted to go to both the ends because this doesn't look as good. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to convert this from a line chart into a line with markers. Let's select this, right click, go to change chart type, and under combo, the target sales will change to this fourth option in line, which is line with markers. And now we hit OK. Next step is to select this line, right click, go to format data series. Now you can click on this paint bucket icon and under line, select no line. So now the line has been removed and we have these circles as markers across the chart.
And remember, if you want to grow your career fast, sign up for our masterclass and course in the description below. It has exclusive and premium content with thousands of other students and professionals. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.
We can also change the shape of these circles. If we select this, right click and go to format data series, go to the paint bucket and go to marker. Under marker options, we have built in, and under type we have all of these different icons that we can have. You have a square, a diamond, a triangle, a cross, asterisk, and two types of lines, circle, a plus, and your own image also. So if we made this a line, for example, you can see that this line is very small. So let's select this. We can increase the size of the line, go back to marker, marker options. We can increase the size of the line. But as you can see, the height of the line isn't under our control. Although it's reaching the ends, the height has become a little too much. Let me set this back to its default. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to make our own shape and set this marker to that shape. So how we'll do that is we'll go to Insert, go to Shapes, and select the basic rectangle, and we'll just make a rectangle here. It shouldn't be too small, but also not too big. Let's select this, go to Shape Format, and now you can see we have Shape Fill, Shape Outline, Shape Effects, and all that. I want to remove this outline that we have around it, so we'll go here, go back to Shape Outline, and just select No Outline. And to have some kind of contrast between our column chart and our line, I'll make this orange. Now I can copy this, select the marker and paste it. And as you can see, we have this line passing through the chart, which is actually just a series of this rectangle overlapping each other that gives it the effect of looking like a line. You can also customize the rectangle a little bit. As you can see, the line is sort of coming into our axis. So I can decrease it from the left a little, copy it again and paste it. And that way you can keep adjusting and get the line to how you want it. If I wanted my line to be a series of arrows, for example, I could go to Insert, Shape, under Block Arrows, I could select an arrow, make some kind of arrow, customize it how I want, no outline, make it orange, and copy it and paste it. And now you have this series of arrows. I'll hold Control Z to undo that because I just want it to be a line chart. And that is how you make an actual versus target chart. We have our target here. We can see that Ria and Daksh are falling below the target and the rest are above the target. In a case like Pranav, where it's touching the target line, we can find this data. So as you can see, the value is 5,547. So he's 47 over the target, which means he is also eligible for the bonus. So that was how to make a fixed actual versus target chart. Now let's move on to the not fixed actual versus target chart or the variable actual versus target chart.
And remember, if you want to grow your career fast, sign up for our masterclass and course in the description below. It has exclusive and premium content with thousands of other students and professionals. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.
Here we can see that once again, it's a very similar table to what we had in the previous one with one change. So we have our salesmen, our 7 salesmen. We have the actual sales made by the salesman. But as you can see, the target for each of the salesmen is different. With 7,000 for Pranav, 3,000 for Neha, 4,000 for Nikhil, 6,900 for Shubhi, 5,000 for Arshi, and so on. In our chart here, we have this one target column and our actual sales column. If the actual sales is falling under the target column, then that means that they have failed to meet the target. And if it's exceeding it, like in Neha's case here, that means that they have gone above the target and they are eligible for the bonus. So let's find out how to make this chart. Select this entire data set by going here and holding Control A. We'll go to Insert, and once again, I'll make a standard column chart. Now we have our column chart with our actual sales and our target sales. We want to change the size of these columns by reducing the gap width. So let me select the actual sales. I'll right click and go to Format Data Series. And by default, it should take you to series options. If it takes you to fill in line or to effects instead, then come to this last one here, which is series options. And under series options, you can see we have gap width. Let me show you what happens if I reduce the gap width. So if you notice, what this does is it's reducing the gap between two columns. And that is not the columns of actual sales versus target sales within Pranav or within Neha. It's the columns between Pranav and Neha. So this gap here, this area here is decreasing whenever I decrease gap width. Okay, and if I make it 0, you can see that they're touching now. And then Neha's column and Nikhil's column is touching now, and Nikhil's and Shubhi's column is touching now. So when we're changing the gap width or decreasing the gap width, the column is getting wider, or in other words, the gap between these columns is decreasing. But as you can see, the gap width of both these columns is decreasing. The gap width doesn't reduce the gap between the bars in one column. It reduces the width between the bars between columns. So this gap here, this gap here, this gap here, and so on. There's no way to decrease the gap width of just one column. I want to just decrease the gap width in this one column between the actual and target cells of Shubhi. I want to decrease gap width. So how will I do that? Let me make this back to somewhere in the center. I'll close this. What we're going to do is we're going to convert this into a combo chart. So we'll go to chart design, change chart type, go to combo, and we're going to make both of them a clustered column. You can see now that they're touching. But another thing that I would want to do is to make actual sales in the secondary axis. So what is happening is our target sales and actual sales are now overlapping. So you can see in this preview that a little bit of the orange is coming out from actual sales. That doesn't mean that this orange is starting from here. It's actually starting from here, but the actual sales and the target sales are just overlapping. So let me hit OK. Now what we want to do is we want to be able to see more of our target sales. So I'll select this orange part. I'll right click. I'll go to Format Data Series. And now let me reduce the gap width. And now you can see that it's coming out a bit. And we can also select actual sales and increase the gap width to make it a little more narrow. I'll go over here and decrease it a little more. Increase this. Now another thing we can do to make it a little more readable or a little easier to look at is we can select the target sales, go to our fill and line, and under fill, under automatic, we can change the color to whatever we want. You can make it, I would suggest making it a sort of lighter color like this light gray or light blue or something like that. I'll just continue with the light gray. And now you can see we have made our variable actual versus target chart where our actual sales, once they exceed the target, they will come out of this target column. And if they are under the target, then the target column is larger than the actual sales column. So that was all for today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching.
And remember, if you want to grow your career fast, sign up for our masterclass and course in the description below. It has exclusive and premium content with thousands of other students and professionals. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.